World War II was a global conflict that engulfed the world in chaos from 1939 to 1945. It involved more than 100 million people from over 30 countries, making it one of the most widespread wars in history. The war saw the major powers of the world divided into two opposing military alliances, the Allies and the Axis. The scale and intensity of the conflict were unprecedented, leading to significant changes in the way wars were fought. It was a war fought on land, at sea, and for the first time extensively in the air. The introduction of new technologies and strategies transformed the battlefield. Tanks, ships, and aircraft became the primary tools of warfare, each playing a critical role in the various theaters of war. Air power, the use of aircraft in warfare, played a crucial role in determining the outcome of the conflict. The ability to control the skies provided a significant advantage, allowing for reconnaissance, strategic bombings, and support for ground troops. Pilots became the new knights of the sky, engaging in dogfights and bombing runs that could turn the tide of battle. Bombers, aircraft designed to drop bombs on enemy targets, became increasingly important. These flying fortresses could carry large payloads of explosives, capable of causing massive destruction. They were used to target enemy infrastructure, military installations, and cities, aiming to cripple the enemy's ability to wage war. They could strike deep behind enemy lines, disrupting supply lines, destroying factories, and demoralizing the enemy. The psychological impact of bombing raids was immense, as civilians and soldiers alike faced the constant threat of aerial attacks. This new dimension of warfare required new tactics and defenses, changing the nature of conflict forever. As the war progressed, the demand for bigger and better bombers grew. Nations invested heavily in research and development to create more advanced aircraft. Factories worked around the clock to produce these machines, with entire economies geared towards the war effort. The race for air superiority became a crucial aspect of the conflict. The United States, with its vast industrial capacity, answered the call with a revolutionary aircraft, the B-29 Superfortress. This long-range bomber was equipped with advanced technology, including pressurized cabins and remote-controlled gun turrets. It represented the pinnacle of wartime innovation and engineering. This technological marvel would change the course of the war in the Pacific and leave a lasting impact on the future of aerial warfare. The B-29's ability to fly higher and farther than any other bomber of its time allowed it to conduct strategic bombings with unprecedented precision and effectiveness, ultimately contributing to the Allied victory. The B-29 Superfortress was born out of the need to strike Japan from afar. The Japanese home islands were thousands of miles from Allied air bases, making conventional bombing raids impossible. In 1940, even before the United States entered the war, the U.S. Army Air Forces requested a new bomber with unprecedented range and payload capacity. Boeing, already renowned for its B-17 Flying Fortress, took on the challenge. The resulting aircraft was a marvel of engineering. The B-29 was massive, with a wingspan longer than a football field and a maximum takeoff weight of over 140,000 pounds. Its four powerful engines propelled it to altitudes of over 30,000 feet, making it difficult for enemy fighters to intercept. The B-29 was not just big and powerful, it was also technologically advanced. It was the first bomber to feature a pressurized cabin, allowing the crew to operate at high altitudes without oxygen masks. This innovation significantly improved crew comfort and endurance on long missions. The B-29 was also equipped with a revolutionary remote-controlled gun turret system. Instead of manually operated turrets, gunners aimed and fired the B-29's weapons using computerized sights and remote controls. This system provided greater accuracy and allowed for fewer gunners, reducing the aircraft's weight. Another notable feature was the Norden bomb sight, a highly sophisticated analog computer that significantly improved bombing accuracy. The B-29 was a true game-changer, combining brute force with cutting-edge technology. The B-29's long range and heavy bomb load allowed the Allies to adopt new bombing strategies. Previously, bombing raids focused on precision strikes against specific military targets. However, the B-29's range allowed it to reach targets deep inside Japan, where traditional precision bombing was difficult due to weather conditions and enemy defenses. General Curtis LeMay, commander of the B-29 Bomber Command, decided to shift tactics. He realized that Japan's cities, largely constructed of wood and paper, were highly vulnerable to firebombing. LeMay ordered his B-29s to fly at lower altitudes, drop incendiary bombs, and target areas with high concentrations of buildings. This controversial tactic proved devastatingly effective, causing widespread fires and destruction in Japanese cities. The B-29's firebombing campaign began in March 1945 and continued until the end of the war. These bombers were specifically designed for long-range missions capable of carrying large payloads of incendiary bombs. The campaign was part of a broader strategy to cripple Japan's war effort by targeting its industrial and civilian infrastructure. Hundreds of B-29s would take to the skies at night, dropping thousands of tons of incendiary bombs on Japanese cities. These nighttime raids were intended to maximize destruction and create chaos, as the darkness made it difficult for Japanese defenses to respond effectively. The resulting fires were massive and uncontrollable, engulfing entire city blocks in flames. The incendiary bombs were designed to start fires that would spread rapidly, feeding on the densely packed wooden structures common in Japanese cities. The most destructive raid occurred on the night of March 9th to 10th, 1945, when over 300 B-29s attacked Tokyo. This raid was meticulously planned to inflict maximum damage, targeting both industrial areas and residential neighborhoods. The raid created a firestorm that killed an estimated 100,000 people and destroyed over 16 square miles of the city. The intense heat from the fires created its own weather system, with winds that fanned the flames and made the inferno even more deadly. The firebombing campaign was highly controversial, but it significantly weakened Japan's will to fight. Critics argued that the attacks were inhumane and targeted civilians, while supporters claimed they were necessary to bring a swift end to the war. The raids caused widespread destruction, disrupted industrial production, and created a sense of terror among the civilian population. Factories were reduced to rubble, and the psychological impact on the Japanese people was profound, contributing to Japan's eventual surrender. The B-29 is perhaps best known for its role in delivering the atomic bombs that ended World War II. This aircraft, a marvel of engineering at the time, was capable of flying higher and faster than any other bomber. It was specifically chosen for this critical mission due to its advanced capabilities and long range. In August 1945, two specially modified B-29 SS, Enola Gay and Bockscar, dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. These missions were meticulously planned and executed, marking a significant moment in military history. The bombs, with their unprecedented destructive power, instantly killed tens of thousands of people and caused long-term health effects on countless others. The sheer scale of their devastation was unlike anything the world had ever seen, leaving both cities in ruins and altering the course of history. The use of atomic bombs remains a highly controversial subject, but there is no doubt that it had a profound impact on the course of the war. Debates continue to this day about the ethical implications and the necessity of using such a weapon, reflecting the complex legacy of this decision. The bombings, combined with the Soviet Union's declaration of war against Japan, forced the Japanese government to surrender unconditionally on August 15, 1945, bringing World War II to an end. This moment marked the beginning of a new era in global politics and warfare, forever changing the landscape of international relations. The B-29's impact on World War II went beyond its role in specific bombing missions. The aircraft's existence had a significant psychological effect on both sides of the conflict. For the Allies, the B-29 represented American industrial might and technological prowess. It provided a much-needed morale boost, demonstrating that the United States was capable of striking back at Japan effectively. For the Japanese, the B-29 was a terrifying symbol of American power. The aircraft's ability to strike at will, even at night, created a constant sense of fear and uncertainty. The B-29's relentless bombing campaign significantly weakened Japan's resolve and hastened the end of the war. The B-29 Superfortress's impact extended far beyond World War II. It set new standards for bomber design and influenced the development of subsequent generations of military aircraft. The B-29's technological innovations, such as its pressurized cabin and remote-controlled gun turrets, became standard features in later bombers. The B-29 also paved the way for the development of strategic bombing as a key component of military doctrine. Its ability to strike deep inside enemy territory and disrupt their war-making capacity shaped how future wars would be fought. The B-29's legacy can still be seen today in the design and capabilities of modern bombers. The B-29 Superfortress was a game-changer in World War II. Its long-range, heavy bomb load and advanced technology allowed the Allies to strike Japan effectively, weakening its industrial capacity and undermining its will to fight. The B-29's firebombing campaign, though controversial, significantly contributed to Japan's decision to surrender, and its role in delivering the atomic bombs marked a turning point in human history, ushering in the atomic age. The B-29's impact on warfare technology and history is undeniable, solidifying its place as one of the most significant aircraft ever built. If you love military history, aviation and war documentaries, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more in-depth content.